what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 158, and we're recording on Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Tuesday, what's going on?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. We have like 777 people on the server.
So close. Like that. 800.
We're almost at 800. Soon we might be like at 1,000 by spring or something. Kind of crazy.
Man.
In terms of announcements and logistics, so obviously, you're probably, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it's a Wednesday, which is one day later than we normally do. I went on a weekend trip to Newport, Rhode Island. Ooh. I think I went to Rhode Island. I gotta look up the name again.
Wait, what do you mean you think? You were literally there.
You didn't know where you were.
I don't know where I was. I got dragged around, dude. Yeah, I was in Newport, Rhode Island. Okay. It was. I'll talk about it in State of the Nation. I came back midday today, so that's why this is a day late. Additionally, a big shout out to our new Fuego patrons, Scylla, EK, and Bunny, and shout out to them. Join the patrons, becoming Harold's homies. You get to contribute to the Spice King, all that stuff. Boom. And now Warren has a final announcement.
All right. Last week I briefly mentioned it, but last week I had the honor of guesting on Rocket Punch Catchy Nation's podcast. It's a fan podcast about Rocket Punch. I didn't know there was one until they reached out to me. But you know what? I had a lot of fun. We talked a whole hour about Rocket Punch. And as well as how I see the girl group market these days. So go check it out. I had a lot of fun. Maybe you'll have fun too.
There you go.
All right, so we're now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 158. We're going to talk about 4 big new releases from 3 artists. We're going to choose a Spicy Song King and hit you with them music show winners. Let's get it. All right, interesting release week. We got 2 ITZY songs and a Woosung song. He's the guy from The Rose, but those come later. But the first one we're going to talk about is Ujusonyo Cosmic Girls via Universe with Let Me In. So they are from Starship, debuted 2016. Their last 3 to 4 songs was Easy from Ujusonyo, the Black Subunit, Unnatural, Butterfly, and As You Wish. With 9 music show wins so far. I missed the Humph song. Hungchipunya.
Oh,
I missed that one
too.
Sorry.
All right, so this is via Universe, so this is not like a proper title track. I kind of consider the Universe songs like B-sides, more or less, but it got voted in through the Harold's homies. So let's talk about it. I like this song, straight up.
It's not bad. I think it's good.
I think you like this song if you like the traditional old school Ujusonyo song when they were kind of space girls back in the day. I feel like this gives similar vibes. I don't think this is the best song, but it's kind of itching it's kind of scratching that itch I've had for the classic Ujusonyo sound. And I'm kind of happy about it,
Okay.
I would agree with that. It's somewhere around that genre, but not quite. I feel like that's what I feel about this song. Like, yes, in general, I like it, but there's certain things where I'm like, I don't find it as memorable. And I guess maybe it's due to the fact that it's not a proper title track, but there's just some parts where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I get lost in the song.
Here's the thing, right? The chorus is the part that I feel like is the most Cosmic Girl-esque.
Yes,
that
sure.
Chorus, right, and the build-up, I feel like that was very Cosmic Girl-esque. At the same time, we've seen them do the same thing in a more solid performance manner.
True.
Right. The chorus, I feel like, was a little lackluster. And I feel like I might be feeling that case because the beginning of the song was very different. We had a very like retro-esque synth riff in the beginning, almost like Fancy by Twice. Even with the concepting too, they were like wearing kind of like like suits and whatnot in a retro-esque elevator, and that was all fun. But the transitions between that whole section with the riff and the off rhythms leading into the downbeat build up, I feel like the transition wasn't there, and it felt like this is something I say about a lot of K-pop songs these days, but it felt like they put 2 songs together that don't belong together. They might make sense theory-wise because of the chord progression, the key making sense. But other than that, it just felt like the whole flow up until that point was kind of thrown away once you got to the build up, and that's where I feel like even though the song was off to a great start and the chorus itself is kind of okay, they didn't play well together in my opinion. So you have a lot of sauce, you know, you have like soy sauce and ketchup, and it might work together. Right, it's I don't know. It kind of didn't at the same time.
Oi, fam, sauce me up, bro. Like I'm down for this. You know what I think it is. This is very reminiscent of like K-pop songs that came out maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, right? Girl group songs, particularly, and no one's really doing this anymore. I think ITZY was the closest to doing something like this before they disbanded. So this is kind of like. It's filling the need for me, but at the same time, I understand where you're coming from. I do think there are some disjointed parts in this, and I sometimes feel like ITZY has a very distinctive rap style, right?
Right.
And sometimes in these Uju Sonyo songs, her style of rap doesn't fit all that well, and I think that's kind of the case in this one.
They tried to kind of make it fit with the whole auto-tune jig, which, I don't know, I thought it kind of worked, but at the same time, I don't think that's up your alley in terms of music preferences. You've generally been the guy who hears autotune and dislikes it. So I don't know.
That being said, like we've had the subunit stuff from them. Like I'm just happy that we have a proper release. And where's my full comeback, Starship? You know?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Where is it at? You know, they were. Go on.
Yeah, it's not like the new group is here already. So
no,
no, not yet.
They got to profit before the One Young Yujin thing starts popping up, right? Like, no, real talk. Like, let's be real here. Once that group happens, Uju Sonyo's going on the back burner. Unfortunate but true, right?
Who knows? Maybe Starship is going to do a great job of dual managing those groups. You never know.
Okay.
Well,
I'm being positive. I'm being optimistic. Look at me.
I think all the Universe songs kind of sound like this too. They all have this like electronica bass, right? They almost all do.
I also feel like I didn't compare them side to side, but when I thought of the music video and I thought of ITZY's music video, I felt like some things is very similar, and I feel like it would make sense, I guess, if it's from the same like producer, the Universe thing. So I feel like I don't know. I just felt a little too similar, maybe in certain aspects in the concept of the music video or the styling. I don't know. I feel like I don't dislike this song. There's just certain things where I'm like, I find it hard to remember this out of their discography. Like I feel like there are way more songs that are stand out from them, and this definitely feels like a B-side.
It is worth noting that the producers of DD Dance by ITZY as well as this track are both Full Bloom.
Makes sense then,
right? They tend to do right. They tend to do songs of this nature where there's a, pop backing, some house music, that kind of deal. And I totally see what you mean. At the same time, it makes me wonder if Universe themselves have any creative input into the music that comes out of their platform. Because I would have guessed not. Like Universe is the platform, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's as if like TikTok was telling influencers what dance to do, but I don't think that's the case at the very least, right? Like,
I think it's a little different than that because it is like exclusively released on their app.
I guess so.
I think they have more creative control.
Maybe.
All right, let's move on to the second song with Woosung with Dimples. So he is from his own company called Wolfpack. He debuted 2017 with The Rose. His last 3 songs were Lazy, Beautiful Girl, and Face, with 0 music show wins so far. I think this song really depends on 2 factors. Do you like Woosung's vocal style? Number 2, are you sick of this trend of songs? I think those 2 questions will determine if you like this one or not. That being said, I think that his voice fits this synth thing better than almost anyone who's done it so far.
Ooh, yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
100.
It has like, he really like has that oomph in his voice. He has a very distinctive voice, so distinctive to the point where like you can tell it's him instantly, and a lot of his songs end up sounding the same because of that, I think. But I think for this one, the actual music behind the voice really complimented him strongly.
I feel like it all came together really well because like the arrangement itself had almost a indie-esque approach to the whole synthwave thing, which works really well with his voice. And then on Woosung's part, So he has this thing where he ends his syllables with a little vibrato. He does that.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Very
You know what I'm talking
breathy though.
Yeah, very breathy. And for the most part, I haven't checked out too much of Woosung stuff. Most of it has come from Wolf on the server.
Yep.
And for the most part, I've felt like that has usually been a little too much. You know, it felt a little over the top. Here, I don't think that's the case at all. I thought it was very appropriate, very well managed, and very well combined with the rest of the track. And the result was pretty decent. I think it was pretty strong. I feel like it was a nice breather in the synthwave trend. It's not it's not an exact rendition of everything that's coming out of K-pop nowadays in terms of synthwave. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Anita, how do you feel about Dimples?
I feel like, for me, I'm not tired, and I don't know if I will be tired of this sound because I just really like the synthy pop sound from the 80s or the 80s take on this. But I don't know. I feel like I understand how it can be very similar, but for some reason I feel like this was a little different because of the vocal quality that he has, and also some of the structure of the song I thought was really nice. I think the pre-chorus sets the chorus build up really nice, and I don't know. I felt like the complementary aspect of the vocals with the instrumental just added a lot to it. Where like I didn't feel like I was listening to another 80s synth pop track. It felt more unique to him. So I think that was nice. I also really, really want to shout out the styling for this music video. I feel like he really committed to that 80s vibe with the outfit, the yellow jacket, the pink pants. I don't know. I thought it was cool. It was like a modern take to that sort of style. A lot of glitter and like face ornamentation, like I don't know, like pearls on the girl's face. I thought it was cool. So visually, very, very nice. And musically, I thought it was cool.
She'd be looking like a mermaid at times, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was nice.
Yeah. Okay, Warren, you just...
Didn't get it?
Okay, Warren, you just don't have enough brain folds.
I know what mermaids are.
No, but in the makeup, the eye makeup of the girl in the music video, and then she's pictured underwater, like very...
Oh, okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah, no, I get it now. Yeah, I'm a small brain.
Woosung's kind of interesting. So he is 28 years old, but he is from LA, so I don't think he has to go to the military, so he can keep doing his thing, right? I would assume so. He has like a cult following on our server. I really can't gauge how popular Woosung is because our server leans heavily into pro Woosung / The Rose, and that being said, he's really good, right? My favorite song of his is the song called Face. I think it's a really strong song.
Kind of blew up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so check out Dimples. All right, let's move on to the last act today. This is obviously the biggest release of the week. On Friday, you got ITZY's Loco. On Monday, you got ITZY Swipe. They are from JYP. Debut 2019. Last 3 songs were Mafia, In the Morning, Not Shy, Wannabe. 39 music show wins already for them.
Whew.
Wow, that's a big number.
All right, before we talk about Loco and Swipe, which is your favorite out of the two? For me, it's got to be Swipe.
Swipe. Yep. Swipe,
right? Swipe is definitely superior.
Swipe. Yep.
Let's talk about Swipe first. Actually, no, we should talk about Loco first because it's the actual title track is Loco.
The main title. Yeah.
So let's talk about Loco first. Loco is a weird song. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I think it is an improvement from Mafia in the Morning, right?
I agree with that. Yes.
I think it's above Mafia in the Morning, but still a ways below their other stuff that they've released.
There's a gap. There's a difference.
I think there's a gap. That being said, I think the strong suit of Loco obviously is the really good choreography. I think the chorus is good. The issues I have is there's some parts, including the pre-chorus, where it just kind of feels like they slapped weird things together at times that didn't make sense. My favorite thing in the entire comeback was Ryujin's hair. I really liked her hair.
Right? Yes, cool. The blonde bangs.
Her styling was good, and I think she really shined throughout this entire 2 music videos. And it seems that now JYP and ITZY are really focused on being hip-hop focused, because like the majority of their stuff is like talk rapping or actual rapping these days. I don't know how I feel about that.
The whole album was very hip hop focused. If you like all the B-sides, well, not all, but a lot of the B-sides, you could tell they were pulling from different genres of hip hop. Like Swipe itself is a very trap song.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about as trap as it gets. I don't know. Let's talk about, I mean, going back to Loco a little bit, I did feel like they might have begun with, I'm putting on my, like tinfoil hat here. Maybe they began with a Moombathon song. And they were
that would make sense.
right?
Yeah.
And they were like, how do we not make this sound dated? How do we not make this sound like it's from 2018? And they did a whole bunch of stuff to it. And now we have this. And I like some of the arrangement. I think the whole chorus with the brass intro and the electric guitars, I thought that was all cool.
Yep.
And the members do a really good job of like portraying that concept. I like, you have to point that out, right? Like, I think ITZY is one of those groups that no matter what they're given, their portrayal of a concept, whether that be vocal wise or acting wise on the music video, I think is just crazy. I think it's some of the best in the industry, period. But it just at the end of the day, the song sounds a little dated. It sounds almost familiar. And
No, there's no killing point. Like there's like, on a lot of the ITZY songs traditionally there was like, oh, this is like that part we're gonna chant all the time, right? Like it just doesn't feel like there's any part of this song which really sticks in my head as like, this is the killing part of this song. And I think that's a problem.
What I think is very interesting about the very beginning of their discography, which was Dala Dala and ITZY,
Great
is
song.
how well they managed to combine the minor stuff and then the major stuff. If you look at Dala Dala, the chorus is written in major, but the rest of the song is written in minor, and it's the complete opposite for ITZY. And it all comes really well together, and that contrast is what really makes it pop. It's what really makes it shine. They stopped doing that for some reason. And now we have something that I think flows generally okay. There's a couple bumps, like the build-up you mentioned was like, that's kind of funky. But at the same time, I don't know. The song sounded a little funky in not the best ways. Stuff worked. I guess my biggest gripe with it was that it sounded a little dated, which was not something characteristic of ITZY maybe 2 years ago, before Mafia.
True.
Mafia
it's like
was,
it works, but it's not hype. Is the best way I could put it. Like Anita, how do you feel about Loco?
I had a lot of conflicting feelings for a lot of the visual aspect, a lot of the audio aspect, the actual song.
Okay.
But I guess just to hone in on the song itself, for me, the horn beat or sound that you hear a lot of the time, I think it's at the end of the first chorus, or at the end of every chorus, there's like the very loud like horn beat that has like that boombaton type of vibe. That sound, and I haven't compared it, so I don't know if it's exactly the same, but that type of sound reminds me so much of this other group, a Japanese group called Exile, The Rampage, if people are familiar with that. That is their sound. Like I just hear that sound and I'm like, oh my god, this is what they do. And my feelings towards that sound has been like, it's a little outdated, because I feel like I've heard them use that sound for like a decade maybe. And I feel like seeing it here, I feel like, oh, why are we doing this here for this track? And then the chorus, I also feel like, this beat switch was very odd. And then I thought about it, like, why does it sound so interesting? And then I did a little bit more research, and I thought, like, I'm putting my own tinfoil hat here. There's a very famous song by Ricky Martin called "Living La Vida Loca," and the beat is not exactly the same. So I'm not calling plagiarism or anything at all, but it's like if you speed it up, I feel like it's a very similar vibe, and I almost feel like is this?
Oh my god, it's so similar. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like did they do this on purpose? Because I mean the title of the song is Loco, and I guess Living La Vida Loca, maybe? I don't know. I just felt like this is so odd. The combination of vibes is like, I guess it could make sense, but together, it's a little odd. And I do commend ITZY as the members, right? I feel like they do pull it off. They do their best with what they're given, but it's just odd.
They're trying.
understand.
Okay, they are trying so hard with what they're given. It is so
Yeah,
evident
of course. They're
that
so talented.
They are trying their butts off. But someone at JYP must be Loco because they did not swipe left on this one. You know, fam. All I'm saying is that with the kids you got in this group, right? These 5 kids, I think that this is an overarching problem with high tier K-pop groups these days, where there are these companies that are so successful and they know that the fans are gonna buy whatever we release, that they don't do like general public think tanks anymore. They only have yes people at the companies, meaning that they just say, yes, this is great, fantastic, let's do it. Instead of actually thinking, is this actually good? Like, are we moving the bar forward? And I think that this is another one of those songs that.
I mean, the thing is, like, maybe this would have been like, oh, this is very experimental. This is very different. We wouldn't have thought of this. And like, cool, we can try new things. It just felt like I don't see where the planning was for a lot of the structure, or like for a lot of the choices, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess visually too, I thought like, okay, this is very interesting. A little overwhelming in the outfits direction. I also felt like a little outdated. I saw like a spike headband on, who was it? I think it was Yuna. And I was like, oh, I've seen that a while ago. And that's how, like, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Like, is that coming back now? Is it that old?
They trying. They trying.
Interesting.
Do we want to pivot? Let's pivot to Swipe, right? So we got the second music video. We got Swipe. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna consider this like a B+ song, not a B side, but like a B+ side, right? You know, because they are promoting it a bit. This one's better. Like, I think it's just better for the sheer fact that it's memorable. Like, it's catchy. And I think that's like essentially what good B-sides should do. I don't think it's complimenting Loco the best thing ever, but I think that it's super memorable in its own right, which I think does the job.
I think the song flows a lot better. If anything,
right?
It flows a little too well, where I feel like they could have added some change-ups a little more, right? Like,
I agree.
Yeah, like there's basically one drum loop throughout the entire track except the build-up, which I guess that's the stereotype of trap music.
Okay. I'm gonna do one of these things that if you haven't had this connection yet, this mental connection, I'm gonna ruin this song for you. Like,
or make it better.
It's gonna be it's gonna be that situation. I can't unhear it, right?
Okay.
This song, ITZY Swipe, is K-pop's answer to Sweetie's Best Friend featuring Doja Cat. It is like the same exact type of. It's like basically the same song, like straight up.
Did that song also blow up on TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like a lot of the creative directions they went with this track felt like their attempt to make it TikTok friendly as much as possible.
Also visually too, like,
right? Visually, choreo, the song, right? Like,
people were saying that on the Discord. Like, it feels very TikTok-y.
And
I don't mind though.
I don't mind either. I feel like that's what a lot of artists do nowadays, and I feel like that's very friendly with the audience. So I like that part. It's just they can do that and do a good job of making music. You know? I'm not saying the song's bad, right? I'm not saying the song's bad, but it's just a little lackluster because all the finishes is kind of lacks the finesse, you know? Like, the drum loop is kind of boring. The rap was kind of all right. ITZY does a way better job of rapping on some of the B-sides, right? Like, Gas Me Up, or is it Gas? Gas Me Up has one of the best rap I've heard from them. 20. Like, they do a pretty good job throughout the entire album. It's just the one song where you need to do a really good job of rapping, they don't. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I was kind of frustrated in that aspect because I know for a very long time I've been crying my butt off for a K-pop trap song. I have.
This
go
is
back.
pretty close. This is it.
This is it. This is as close as it gets, and it sounds dated. The main loop is kind of boring, and the end result is, I guess this is what I asked for, but like it doesn't have the high quality finish that I would expect from JYP. And I'm a little sad in that aspect because there was a lot of potential. And the result is fine. It's just there could have been much more, is what I think at the end of the day. Is that fair?
I think it's also fair because you have to compare ITZY these days to their contemporaries. Where what I mean by that is ITZY, for good or for bad, will be directly compared to aespa and will be directly compared to STAYC at the moment, right? Because they are the other monster rookie groups.
And they're all doing very different sounds.
And they're all doing very different things. Yeah. But the difference is the hype that you can feel. You know how, like, you might not watch all the K-pop content in the world, but you could kind of feel certain hype trains are rolling. The next level hype train is still nuts. It's number 5 on iChart still. Like, and then STAYC Girls, it just feels like it's going down lately, right? Like,
woohoo, STAYC!
Yes.
ITZY's in this position where they are supremely popular, right? But at the same time, I don't think their last 2 songs have done nearly as well as JYP would have thought. And they're already having a new girl group come within the next 5 months, right? 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
So you have to also think about that. So this group is gonna debut. If they dump all the resources and they have a fire debut, what does that mean for ITZY, right? So you kind of have to think of it like that.
You got to think about it this way too, right? This is their first full-length LP release. This is their debut studio album. That's essentially what this is, which I see it as the end of the first phase of their entire career. This is, and this might be a very hip-hop way to look at it, but to me, a first studio album is kind of like your business card. It's kind of like your passport. It's your identity. And a lot of this feels very counter identity to what they've done up until this point.
Switch up.
Right. And I guess that's fine, but the execution has been not very persuasive to me. And that might be just me. And maybe it's a lingering thing from Mafia in the Morning where I was just dissatisfied out of my mind. And I do want to point out, Swipe and Loco are miles better than that track.
I agree.
Right? We can all agree there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we think about their entire discography, from Dala Dala, ITZY, Not Shy, Wannabe, etc., not in the specific order, it does feel like we've had some better moments where this moment should be their shining moment of glory. If you look at Twice, for instance, I think Likey was a great embodiment of their identity. Right, the song itself was incredibly solid. Sure, it wasn't as popular as TT or Cheer Up, but how are you gonna do that? So in that aspect, I'm left wanting a little more. There's some good B-sides on the album. I encourage you to check it out. My favorite was 20 Boombox Gas Me Up, Love Is. That whole 4-track joint was great. But I don't know, man. It's good.
It's like a tiny bit of a letdown for me. Not like a letdown, but like, you know, I was like, you know? Yeah. I'm like, it's all right, but like, that's how I've been feeling. But, you know, at least we got some ITZY content. Other big new releases this week include Joyuri with Isokun with Autumn Memories. Joyuri's actually getting her own, like, real solo thing, so we'll talk about that later. Coldplay and BTS released My Universe. They only had the lyric video up, but there should be some music video next week. If it's significant, we might cover it next week. We also have Victon's Dohanse. He released Takeover. Shiny's Key released Bad Love. Day6's Doun released Out of the Blue with Song Hee-jin. And then AB6 released Cherry. The songs we covered this week were chosen by the Harold Homie, so it is what it is. I kind of wanted to cover that Key song, but we didn't get the chance.
Yeah.
All right, we're now at Spice King, so each week the crew will decide which song reigns supreme. We're going to evaluate the Soju chart in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. If you place number 1 on the Soju chart, you are this week's Spice King. If you get 3 crowns, you're in the Hall of Spice. Last week, episode 157, From Miss Nine's Talk and Talk. I think it was their 3rd week, but they picked up their 1st crown. 2nd place, we had Purple Kiss a Zombie. 3rd place, we have Mamamoo with Much. New candidates are the 4 songs we covered: Cosmic Girls, Let Me In, Woosung Dimple, and ITZY's Loco and Swipe. I don't have a chart right now. I have crossed out. I've tried to make it. I crossed it out like 6 times during.
Same. I rearranged mine like several times.
Okay, here's what I know. Mamamoo, you off the chart, right?
Bye, Mama.
Purple Kiss, you had a good time. I think I'm done with that one too. Even from Miss 9, we're in week 3. No, we're in week 4 of this song.
Yeah.
It's off my chart too. I'm going to pick 3 of these new candidate songs on the spot, and I'm just gonna do it. Okay. Second place, Woosung Dimples. I think I'm gonna put that one second. I'm gonna put that one second.
There. Okay.
I'm gonna put that one second, and then I'm in between Cosmic Girls and Let Me In and Swipe from ITZY. One of them's going first, one of them's going third for some reason. I'm going to put. If I had to think which of these songs am I going to listen to more, it's going to be the Cosmic Girl song. I'm going to put that in first. Even though that's not a popular opinion, I'm putting that in first, and I'm putting Swipe in third. Boom.
Okay.
All right. Anita, what is your chart looking like?
I am not confident in this chart. I'm not confident in my order either, but I'll put number 1 first. Number 1, I'm going to have ITZY Swipe. I think it's really catchy. I really like the choreo. I watched some of the... I think there was a performance version of this that I saw. Not a fan of the outfits, but the choreo is still good. I don't know. I think it's catchy. It's very trendy visually as well. So I know I'll be watching live stages for this. And in second... I'm between 2. Realistically speaking, I've been listening to this song more. It might go down next week, but for now, I'm going to put it in second, and it's going to be NCT's Sticker.
What?
Popular opinion.
What?
Opinion. I'm going to put it in second.
What?
I feel like it has grown on me a little bit more since last week.
What?
Do I listened to Lemonade more than Sticker? Yes. But that's not the title track, and it doesn't qualify for it.
Anita, you bugging. All right.
Anita, is this your second Brave Girl Chima Bottom?
No. Okay, I don't like it as much as...
Is it going to be on the chart next week on first?
What's in third, Anita? What's in third?
I have Cosmic Girls. Let Me In.
Okay.
I think it was a pretty good song.
I
like the return to the sound, but it didn't stand out as much as I think it could have. Still good.
Anita's smoking that good shit right
No,
now.
what are you talking about?
Hey. Lower your tone. All right, Warren.
I also have a full swipe this week where none of the songs from last week has made the chart this week.
You flipping the table.
That's why swipe is on first because it's a full
Hey,
swipe.
we're friends today, Warren.
Of course, you and I are always friends.
Sometimes.
Look, I think swipe. Even though I pooped on it a little bit, I think there was a lot going on that I enjoyed. I also have a bit of a personal bias towards songs like these. I do feel like there was a lot of potential that didn't blow up, and I'm a little let down. But hey, you know what? They did it. It's out. It's not like they're gonna change the song. It's not like they're gonna pull a Kanye here. So I'm happy with what I got. Right? Cosmic Girls with Let Me In, I think was very decent. Had a nice riff. Had nice moments. But at the same time, I don't think it's on my chart this week.
Oh.
Fair.
I don't know. Something about it feels rather lacking. The chorus, the build up. I don't know. I don't know. What is on my chart is Woosung with that song.
Dimples.
Woosung's Dimples is on second place for me.
Second place? Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
You know what? I think I really like it. I think it's one of the better renditions of that genre. Can't complain. I think this is some of the best stuff he's ever done so far. Props to the guy. That leaves us with Loco on third. I'm the only one put Loco under charts this week, apparently.
Okay. No, I respect that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think it's terrible. You know, I think it's all right. It's decent. So there you go, folks.
All right. The homies, right?
What did the homies say?
Their first place song was from Miss Nine's Talk and Talk.
Oh my god!
They still got it at first place. And the crazy thing is, they don't have a third place song this week because there was a tie for second. It happened.
Oh,
so
cool.
Oh, shit.
going back, From Us Nine's Talk and Talk got 42 points, right, in their system. The second place songs got 31 points, so it's kind of significant. And they were ITZY's Loco, so they did not like Swipe as much as we did.
Wow, okay.
And Woosung's Dimples also got 3 points from them. So those two
Wow.
tied for second. And doing some quick maths, I did some quick maths here. The first place song this week with only 11 points, that's not that many, is ITZY's Swipe. Picks
Let's
up its
go.
first crowd. In second place with 9 points, only 9, we have Woosung's Dimples. And in third place with
Right.
6, we have Cosmic Girl's Let Me In.
Okay,
All right.
that's good.
Interesting.
That's not
Interesting
half
chart. Let me do a. Oh, also, 2 people voted for Dreamcatcher because to be first place again.
Oh my god. Yo,
Guys.
crazy.
Guys.
Is this why you're a Patreon to support Dreamcatcher?
Oh, you know what's the funniest thing? Coro's like, y'all smoking some good stuff putting From Us Nine first. I'm like, bro, you're the guy who's putting Dreamcatcher first. And then he instantly wrote Touche. So that happened. Quick preview for next week in the Spice chart. The Twice thing on October 1st.
Nice.
Is that next
And if that's next week. And if
Oh,
we
shoot.
cover that BTS and Coldplay thing, kind of a contender, CL potentially. So those are some potentially big names there. All right, finally we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes. So once again, we have Imujin, Traffic Light. One more time on Inkigayo. So they're up to 4 total wins. And now, with this win, it's the 7th Triple Crown of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
wow.
Congrats.
Triple Crown specifically means you won Inkigayo 3 weeks. And the other 6 songs are Twice's I Can't Stop Me, I Use Celebrity, I Use Lilac, Brave Girls Rollin', BTS Butter, and Permission to Dance. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That song is really popular. And then we have NCT 127 with Sticker, one on M Countdown, Music Bank, and Show Music Core. So they're up to 3 total wins for this comeback.
Go and Citizens. Wow.
And Citizens. And 80s with Deja
Oh.
Vu. They got their first win with this comeback on Show Champion. So congrats to them.
Congrats.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a shame for ATs. I don't think this comeback did as well as they wanted to. But, people are liking Sticker. It sold like 2 million albums, so it is what it is there.
Yeah.
And then Jang Won-young and Hypin Sunghoon are selected as the new MCs for Music Bank. So, Won-young's putting in that work, getting that money. Shout out to Won-young. Also Sunghoon, I like Won-young more. But we are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 158. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk K-pop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 158, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events and give you the state of the nation. During the break, I got a LaCroix, so shout out to LaCroix.
I got a
So
spin
sad.
drift. I got a spin
So
drift.
double the sadness.
Yeah,
Raspberry lime.
So I found out this weekend on my trip that so we talked about seltzer water because my brother-in-law is addicted to it too. Apparently, right? He drinks like 4 cans a day or something.
Oh my.
That's a lot.
But he owns a video company where they film like ads or other videos for people. They did some Spindrift ads in the past, so that's something. So
Wow.
seltzer water, we got a direct connection.
Ooh.
Hey, support Doug's brother-in-law by drinking spin drift. It's good stuff.
It's not like he has equity in the company. But
No.
going back to news and events, the first one, it's a bit of a rumor, but it's more spice. We've been following the story a while, but according to Star News, HYBE has attempted to recruit Minju for a long time, but it is still, quote, in the fog. The new source group would be a 6-member girl group, including Minju, Chaewon, Sakura, and 3 trainees. And one of them is pretty much been revealed to be Ho Yoon-jin, who was on Produce 48. Following additional rumors that Sakura finalized her contract, HYBE stated that both the Minju stuff and the Sakura stuff, they can't report anything on it and will not share any details at the moment.
Not finalized. Interesting.
Hey, they were saying like there's probably gonna be 2 to 3 IZ*ONE kids. Minju, Chaewon, Sakura, that's a really popular, good base for a group if it actually happens, right? Like,
Yeah. And does Minju, is like she committed to anything right now?
no, a lot of people thought she was gonna go the acting route because she has some training in that. And at the moment, I think her only thing she's doing is she's like a MC of one of the music shows, I believe. But other than that, unattached. She's in a company. We don't know if she's transferred or anything, but at the same time, like this probably would make her career more bright if she did this, I would believe.
Okay.
Anita, hit us with the next major topic.
Yes. So CJ Yenem and HYBE have announced the survival show Island 2 in search for the next generation female idol group. So if you saw Island, the original show, the first one with the guys that made in Hypen, this will be the girl version of this. And the group will make their debut under Belief Lab, and the participants that can be on the show should be of the age between January 1st, 2000 and December 31st, 2009.
9?
Yeah, so if you're in that age range, go and apply.
Wait,
Easy.
that's like an 11-year-old.
They're
listeners
tiny.
that are in their 2009s?
You know what's the craziest thing? There's no one in the 1900s in there allowed to be in this group. It's all
No,
2000.
this is the new generation.
Guys, we're old. Or we are old people.
Yeah.
Old person emoji, apparently.
Weird.
But
don't
anyway,
know.
it's interesting.
Okay.
I wonder, my biggest question here would be like if this structure of the show will be the same, because there were some things that I didn't quite like, but I mean, it makes good TV.
What did they call it? Something in ground, right?
Yeah, I thought that was so sad.
Yeah, there was like they separated kids as like good kids and bad kids the entire time. Like,
Yeah, it will be interesting.
yeah.
Classic. That's what it is.
And they had like preferential treatment. Like one had a nice dorm with food and stuff.
Nice,
And the other,
nice outfits.
the other kids got like one training room and had to get bused to like a hotel at the end of the day. Like,
So
was
it's like,
sad.
it's Lord of the Flies. That's what this is. You
it
have
was.
the group of savages and the group of high class tiers boys.
yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. I'm excited though. I'm a sucker for competition shows. So, Anita, what else happened to Island this week?
Yes, also in relation to Island, the show was nominated for 2021 International Emmy Awards in the non-scripted entertainment category.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, really. So there was only 2 Korean things nominated this year. It was this and the drama It's Okay Not to Be Okay.
Okay.
And they're both under CJ. So CJ had both of the nominations.
Wow. I would not have expected this show to be nominated for that category, but
Apparently,
that's
you know.
cool.
Was it good enough? Do you guys think it was good enough for an Emmy nomination?
No. No, like, let's be real here. Like, the produced seasons were more interesting than Island was, I thought. Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
Yeah,
right?
well.
Yeah.
it was a survival show. I don't think it was too different. Like, the structure was a little different, but in essence, it's still a survival show. And I guess those do really well now.
Is Warren, is he frozen, right? With this weird looking face.
Yeah.
I thought he was just making this weird face. Let's take another break. I think that's all we really have to say about Island, though.
Yeah.
Let's take another break. 3, 2, 1. We got Warren back. He's unfrozen. He's going to read the last major topic, so go ahead with it.
All right, we have some BlackBerry Creative news. BlackBerry Creative being the company that Luna is under. On 28th of September, so that's today, Sports World reported that according to several industry insiders, BBC have been failing to pay their business partners for several months, including hairstylists, makeup artists, and stylists who were also asked to quit their jobs.
Oh, no.
These insiders also revealed that BBC's financial problems have been ongoing for quite a bit. with internal salary and tax payment issues leading up to several months. They also noted that due to these financial issues and poor intercompany relations, BBC is now having trouble producing new records. And it is said that the total unpaid wages are in tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars owed to their employees. So,
Okay, so if y'all remember, this is not the first time BBC's been in trouble with money. They had
it's
that
not.
weird thing where they had an agreement with a Japanese company and they had to pay back money, and then they had another thing where they took a loan for money to buy a building or something. That was another one. We covered that like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Right.
BBC as a company is not clean of financial issues, but the fact that several industry insiders are saying that they're not paying their employees is not a good sign for the resulting group that they have at their company.
No.
no. What's concerning is we usually consider Luna to be one of the bigger names in K-pop.
They're a
Right.
top 10 girl group.
Right. They're fairly successful in a relative spectrum. And what is very noteworthy about them is their debut project, which was a lot of front-heavy investment as far as
18 million, I believe, something like that.
Right. Something like that's crazy numbers. And to a degree, I do feel like maybe that was a big risk. And they were willing to take it. Did that fully pan out in the way they had hoped? I don't know. Maybe not. You know? It's kind of concerning.
Yeah, it's been BBC's been kind of weird, right? Because you remember last year it was kind of reported that Isuman wanted to invest in them and almost maybe buy
Yeah.
it or something.
Right.
So it's just been a little strange, right? Because on a Western scale, Luna is very popular. Got a lot of strong fans, a lot of orbits around here. But in a Korean sense, they're very unnotable. Like Ida Sonyo, people are like, who's that, right? In Korea specifically.
They're like one of those groups that people kind of know now. They're like, oh yeah, that I've heard of them. And parts of it is because members like Chu is incredibly popular in the mainstream media now.
Oh, variety.
She's doing well in so much variety. She has solo YouTube. She has I think like 2 or 3 YouTube varieties that she does by herself. She has several advertisement campaigns, and this actually is interesting because in her recent YouTube variety, recent episode of her YouTube variety, World is One Chu, she revealed that she has not been paid for her activities as Chu yet, which, given the amount of activeness she is going through, that's pretty shocking. And here's the thing: a lot of the way a lot of companies do payments for idols is that they figure out how much money they have invested into the idol before they debut. And then post debut, they see that as debt and they fill
Right.
that up,
Yeah.
right? And then afterwards, anything they make on top of that goes back to them. That's the profit. That's I think what Shu is implying here. There was a lot of front heavy investment, and she owes the company that much amount of money for that.
Okay.
Crazy though.
You would think that if they're willing to do this crazy project, that they would front the cost of that. Because it's very atypical for a group, right?
You're right. I just want to put out there, but this is not like confirmed or anything. We're making a little bit of guesses here based on what other companies do. But yes, that's what you would assume. But they apparently, I don't know, maybe didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to see with this one.
Here's the thing.
Go Warren.
I do feel, I know a lot of fans are like probably gonna do like a Save Luna campaign again because that's what they did a couple of years back.
It's been a thing, yeah.
It's been a thing. Realistically speaking, going back to what you said about Lee Soo-man, I feel like the best outcome right now for Luna, because that's the only thing we care about, anything from BBC, I feel like they should just get bought out by a different company, which doesn't make sense because BBC is already under Polaris, which is one of the bigger companies in the entertainment industry. But I don't know, maybe if like SM or or CJ buys them. That would be nice. You know, I feel like that would be a great moment for K-pop, but we'll see. I don't know. For now, it's a little sad. Yeah.
Let's go to the other news. Some of it's happy. So the first one, BTS has announced the permission to dance on stage LA concert.
Ooh.
So there's 4 dates over 2 different spans. So November 27, 28 and December 1st and 2nd at the SoFi Stadium in LA. That is the new LA Rams Stadium. It's humongous. It's new, brand new. Ticketing info is up now. Okay, so here's a funny thing about this on a personal level.
Okay.
I got an email from Ticketmaster saying, "Hey, we'll give you a code so you can get early up in the line to try to get tickets for the concert in LA." I'm like, "Bro, they're like, because we canceled the tour, right? The massive tour." I'm like, I live near New York. There's no way I can make it out to LA for this thing. Additionally, I think that's kind of like weird because a lot of people lost money on things like reservations for hotels, cars, airfare for the actual concert that was supposed to happen like last year, right? I think it is a good gesture, but at the same time, I could see why people would be a little salty there. But then again, they're probably not that salty because they want to see BTS anyway, right? So
it's an opportunity, yeah.
I mean, you know, BTS did what they could in that situation. It's not like they could.
Oh yeah, it's not their fault, obviously. But like, it's just kind of weird. I thought to give you a code.
Why only LA though? NYC is a decently large-sized city in the
I'm going to
entire
guess
world.
it's because of the vaccine stuff.
Ah.
I'm going to guess it has something to do with that. Maybe.
Get your vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so SoFi Stadium, let me see concert capacity. Let me look it up. Concert capacity.
Can't believe anti-vax is the reason BTS is not in New York.
Oh, it's a 70,000 for a concert. They
Oh
can
my
sit.
god.
70,000.
I'm guessing not full capacity though, right? At this
Who
point.
knows? Who knows? For other events such as the Super Bowl, WrestleMania, the Olympics, and other things, they could go up to 100,000. But for a concert, they could do like 70. It says. Maybe a little less. Maybe like 50.
If you
at
see
least.
recent concert clips, people are not wearing masks and are very tightly standing next to each other. So I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so they've already had some concerts there, so
Yeah.
it is a thing. Should be fun if you're in LA, might as well get tickets. It's kind of nice. The next one, in terms of pre-order, 17 has surpassed 1.41 million for their 9th mini album Attica,
God.
and Hypen have surpassed 600,000 pre-order album sales for their next thing called Dimension Dilemma. So 17 is coming out October 22nd, and Hypen October 12th. Like 1.41 million, just pre-ordering that. Like, what the heck?
Oh my god.
We're in this weird age now where like million isn't even that big anymore for the big people.
Standard.
It's a scary number though.
Yeah. Next one, in terms of baby news, so Taeyong and his wife Min Hyo-rin, the actress, have announced that they will be having a baby soon. And additionally, YG confirmed that Bobby will be having a boy.
Wow, congratulations.
So now he can do the "Why You Mad Son" to his son at some point, So
Perfect.
Congrats on the new babies, new people.
Taeyong, have the kid. How about we get some music from you, my guy? That being said, that couple probably has so much money where it never has to work again if he didn't want to. So it is what it is.
Thank you for contributing to the poor. Well, positively contributing to the poor birth ratio of Korea.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know if it's yet in Korea, but I remember a statistic a couple years back in Japan where they're selling more adult diapers than baby diapers. It's probably the case in Korea too. They're kind of screwed.
If you look at the way the graph looks, there's none like it. It's way worse than UK, way worse than Japan. It's gonna be a party.
There's very, very little you could do because it's a societal problem. No one wants to get married. Number one. Number two, it's so expensive to live now. That's
Cost of
another
living,
reason.
yeah.
So what you really got to do is either lower the housing cost or lifestyle cost, or really tax incentivize people to have children.
Oh,
But good luck
boy.
with that.
They're not doing any of that.
Yeah, those are generally the ways you fix this. Yeah, we'll have to see. There's the same thing in the U.S. too. Like, and there's not enough geriatric doctors for old people either. So that's a
Whoa.
thing. Yeah.
We will see, but we have a steep graph.
Next one, TOP Media announced that 100% will disband and end group activities on October 9th. It's like a mutual decision. They had a V-Live about it. 100% debuted back in, not 2021. What?
A while ago.
I think it's 2012, I want to say.
Yeah, 20.
Wow. It's been a while.
I remember,
I remember them a little bit. I remember the member Rakhyun specifically. I remember. Yeah. So they had a 9-year run. So you can't really be too sad about that.
I don't know who they are, but props to them.
If I remember, one of the members passed away. I want to say. Yeah, his name was Minu. He passed away in 2018.
Oh, man.
I remember that happening. But shout out to 100%. You know, he had a good 9-year run. All right. Finally, some artists open up new accounts. So Joyuri opened up something on Universe. Card, something on Universe, and Dream Note on Bubble. So those were the new accounts. So if you're a fan of any of those, go sign up for their things. All right. Announce big comebacks. WeI via Universe October 1st, Golden Child October 5th, and Flying October 6th. On October 7th, you're getting Paul Kim, Joyuri, and Gravity. October 12th, Tribe. October 13th, Cube's Lightsum. October 21st, Kingdom. October 22nd, 17. And October 26th, Epics. So those are the announced comebacks. All right, State of the Nation. Should I talk about my trip to Newport, Rhode Island? You know, I remember it now.
Sure, yeah.
You sent some nice photos of, what is it?
Mansion.
Okay, it's like, it is like 4 hours from here. It's in Rhode Island. First time I've ever been to Rhode Island, by the way.
Wow, you've never been to Boston? That's not in Rhode Island.
No, like, I was like, what? I've been to Boston.
Stupid.
Newport, Rhode Island is kind of interesting, right? It's it feels like a beach vacation place, right?
That's where they go.
We ate a lot of seafood, but one of the main things to do there is that there are just these Gilded Age mansions, like from the turn of the century in the 1890s to like 1920s. These gigantic mansions. There's a bunch of them.
Wow.
There are people there with so much money. The one I went to is it's called The Breakers. It has a Wikipedia page. We did a mansion tour.
Whoa!
It was built by Cornelius Vanderbilt II of
What a
like
name.
the Vanderbilt family, like that Vanderbilt.
wow.
Yeah, like this mansion was the most ridiculous thing ever. We had this audio tour thing, like it was through the phone.
Whoa.
They're like,
wow.
"Oh, this is an understated room where they put platinum on the walls." Like that's an understated room. That's like the type of crap they were saying. This house looked like a European castle / museum. How ridiculous it was.
Wow.
I looked up the real estate there. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, bro, there's like a house there that had like, this has 26 bedrooms and 24 bathrooms. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Why that many?
Go to Newport, Rhode Island though. The seafood was really bussin'. It was a good time. We did that. We went apple picking, saw the family. It was a fun like 2-day trip. Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I really did. I hear that Warren has a list of things we gotta talk about.
I actually talked about one of it, so I'm gonna cross that off the list. I started watching Squid Game on Netflix. That's popping off.
Yeah, it is the number one Netflix show. Like, not even just Korean show, just show. Period.
Wow.
Oh no, it's crazy. It's I don't know. It's weirdly unpopular in Korea, but at the same time very popular outside of it.
Yep.
So it's I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I saw I want to say like a quarter of it, but I know all the spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything though. I'll
read the premise real quick.
Oh sure, yeah.
So, 456 people who have all struggled financially in life are invited to play a mysterious survival competition. Competing in a series of traditional children's games, but with deadly twists, they risk their lives to compete for $38.5 million prize.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the murder game genre, but like they're playing children's games. And I was like, I'm watching, and I'm like, these aren't children's games. Like, what are Korean children's games? Like, here's the way I would have done it if I was the guy who set up Squid Game, in the drama. The first round would have been StarCraft, do one-on-ones whoever loses dies, whoever wins proceeds. 50-50 clean cut. Like that's StarCraft is the game of the nation. Like everyone, like I feel like that would have been the way to go. Second round,
League,
right.
League.
Sure, right. League would be round 3 or so, and then round 2 in the Maple story. Whoever gets level 20 first.
Fair.
But look, you know what? It was nice. Lee Jung Jae's there.
Big
A
name.
lot of people, because this is their introduction to Korean dramas or movies, don't know who that is, and they were like, "Wow, who is this awful
He's a
piece of crap?"
A+ tier
No,
actor.
he's-
Like
Yeah. Top name.
Top name. All the stuff he's done up until this point has been like the cool people, like very charismatic people. But in this show, he was like, it was difficult watching like the first episode, how pathetic this guy is. And then you realize, man, this guy's a great actor, man. So I don't know. I'm overall decent time. It's a great time killer. Decent show. I like it. Go check it out. On the other hand, in network TV in Korea, the other audition show, I think the longest running audition show in Korea,
Oh my god.
the 10th season of Show Me the Money is kicking off this Friday. Man, I can't believe it's 10 seasons already.
Wow.
Oh man.
10 years ago?
10 years.
Oh my god.
I remember like 10 years ago, they were saying they're going to start doing a hip hop show called Show Me the Money. And I was like, that is an awful name. That's an awful name. Like it's like a cheat code in StarCraft where you get like 10,000 minerals or something. It's stupid. Anyways, we have a great producer lineup. We have Gray and Mino, which you guys know who that is. Gray and Mino.
Yes.
You have Team Zion T and Slom. Slom was in charge of arranging and producing a lot of the tracks last season too. So I know they're gonna be great. Slom also did a EP recently with Sumin, which is one of the best R&B albums I've heard this year. Go check that out. There's also Geiko and Code Kunst, which is Geiko is like one of the best first generation rappers, and then Code Kunst is one of the hottest producers right now. Go check that out. And then you have Mr. Yumta and Poyo. Let it be known, I've been shouting out Yumta for a long time on this show.
yes, sir.
And he's on Show Me the Money now. So yeah, you look at me now. I've been saying you guys should listen to Yumta forever, and he's finally there. Anyways, kind of excited about it. It's gonna be fun. If you haven't seen Show Me the Money ever, I don't know. I feel like this season's gonna be pretty decent. We have a decent lineup in terms of producers and in terms of participants. So it would be a nice season for you to introduce yourself into everything. I don't know. Go for it. Show Me the Money 10. But what's not 10 is the number 9. And if you have 3 of 9, it's 999.
Anita, you doing anything before we get there?
Oh, not a lot. I started playing Animal Crossing a lot
Okay.
again.
What do you mean you started? You've been playing it for a while.
I have. I took a break. I think I mentioned this
Okay.
already. I took a break. I'm back on it again. I am in the search of my dreamies, the villagers that I want on my island. Number 1, Molly. I want her on my island so bad.
You need
She's
Molly?
She's a little duck.
Is
She's
that
so
what you're
cute.
smoking on to get NCT
No, what
7 on second place?
No.
Okay.
Molly, the duck from Animal Crossing. She's really cute. She's on
Okay.
my list, and so I'm working to get her on my island. So I gotta do a whole lot of Nook miles and stuff, but I'll
it-
get there. That's
Is that
my goal.
Is that the code name they're using for drugs nowadays? Animal
No.
Crossing? Okay.
No. Also, shout out to the webtoon. What's it called? After school lessons for unripe
God.
people.
Oh my god, Anita.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for those coins. I am obsessed with this webtoon. It's so good. It's getting really good. Cliffhanger after cliffhanger. But yeah, so check that out if you haven't already. Girls Planet though.
Oh,
I feel
Warren.
like if you still haven't checked it out by this point, I feel like you wouldn't know.
Warren, I started reading a manga this week.
Oh.
Japanese one. How do I
Okay.
pronounce it? It's a Harasan wa Hara.
I don't know what you're watching. Why are you asking me what you're watching?
No, I don't know how to
would I know?
pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce this.
I don't know
What's it about? What's it about?
What's it about? What's it called?
Oh no,
you sent
I
it to me.
typed. I sent it to you.
Ahare-san wa hakarenai.
So there's a dude and a girl, right? They're classmates, right?
Okay.
he's kind of antisocial kudere, where he's kind of negative outlook on things. Pessimistic. Okay. And she can't judge personal space well.
So opposite.
Yeah, it's kind of that thing. But the reason why I started watching it, because I saw the trailer, because apparently there's going to be an anime of it in 2022.
Oh.
It's really cute, though. Like, it's a comedy, though. You could tell it's comedy
rom-com.
themed. Yeah, it's a rom-com. It's not even... There's not even much rom. It's just comedy.
I'm looking at the main poster, and it's a little lowly-looking girl sitting on a dude.
Yep, they're the same age. They're classmates. It's not weird.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
All right. That being said, like the main butt of the joke is like she's supposed to be the weird one, but when you keep reading it, he's actually the strange one. Like that's the whole comedy thing that's going on. Like she's kind of weird and up in his face, but he's actually the one that has delusions and is kind of insane. So it's really funny though. I suggest you at least watch the trailer. I thought it was really cute. So you could just look up Aharen-san, Aharensan, in trailer, and you'll probably find it on YouTube. Yeah.
The English title is Aharen is indecipherable.
Yep.
Oh.
She does have a very blank look in all of these images I'm looking at.
Oh yeah, she's like dead on the inside. It's kind of funny.
She has the anime deadpan eyes that have like nothing in the eyes.
Yeah, so she's cool. Like bad at expressing herself and can't judge personal space. So that's her issues. So it's kind of cute though.
Kind of reminds you of Sakura though.
It's almost like a Komi-san thing where she can't communicate too. That kind of thing going on.
Why is anime going through a phase of very socially awkward but cute girls?
It's because people can relate because they're socially awkward, sir.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
All right. Girls Planet 999, episode 8. We had an introduction to round 3, and then we had the elimination stuff. So they first introduced round 3, creation mission, right? No country limits. You could have as many kids from each country in the group. The contestants were placed by the Guardians or us at home. That happens every year. They basically do like a survey. What song do you think each kid should be put in? That kind of thing. There were supposed to be 14 kids per song before the elimination. It will eventually be brought down to about 7 because they went from 56 kids down to 28, something like that.
God.
54, I think, right? Multiple.
54 to 28, and then you get a 2 times benefit for 24 hours if your song wins. So there's only 4 new songs, right? Let's go through them. The first one was You Plus Me Equals Love, which was an up-tempo electronica song. Kind of sounds like an ITZY or Cosmic Girl song. I kind of listed some of the kids. We're going to spoil it a bit early. So these are the kids that are remaining that are popular, right? So this one lost a lot of kids. They pretty much have Mashiro and Mei left in this one. The next one, which was Shoot, which was a dance, synthwave, synth pop song. That's what they said on the show. It's like cutesy, retro disco-y, kind of dreamlike. This was pretty much Yujin's daycare was the way that this one turned out. Yujin, Gunmaya, Ruan, Ririka, Manami, all cutesy kids in Yujin somehow ended up in this one. I don't know. The next one, which was Snake, which was a Moonbathon song with kind of sexy vibes, similar to like a Bandit song or Rumors, that kind of vibes. This song, almost everyone remaining. We have Suruchi, Wonja, Dayan, Youngun, Suyeon, Zhaoting, Fuyaning, Chaibing. Chaibing's leadership again, y'all.
Oh boy.
Topic of discussion.
The Supreme Leader is back at it again.
It was even worse because Dayan was like co-leading, and the differences in style and vibes were so bad that at a certain point, Chaibing's like, Dayan should be leader.
Oh, man.
I hear there might be a little bit controversy in this group because they have more than 7 kids, so they're going to have to vote kids out. And people are thinking that this is going to end up with at least 6 Chinese kids in it.
It's going to be Chinatown, is what I'm hearing.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you know how there's politics going on. Like, people aren't really down for this type of deal, so it might get a little messy here. Finally, we have Utopia, which is a dance girl group song. It's a really vocal-heavy song, sort of dreamlike. I'm going to say it's sort of like a G-Friend song, is the type of vibes I was getting.
Okay. Okay.
People remaining in this group, Yurina, Bora, Chaehyun, Yesa, Hwang Chin Chao, Shana. Really good vocalists are in this group. The two songs I probably liked the most were probably the You Plus Me Equals Love or Utopia. Those are really up my alley, I think. I think Utopia will end up being the best stage, if I had to guess right now, just because the vocals are so strong.
I want to make it clear that I don't like Snake because it feels like we're rehashing the same Moombathon trend that we've seen and have moved on from, but apparently not. We're still doing Rumor, apparently. Oh.
Trying to recreate it, I think.
That song, like, are you remotely sexy? Yes, you are in Snake. That's basically what they did. Like, right? With the choice. They're like, are you mature or give off sexy vibes at any point in time on this show? You are in Snake. That's more or less. Are you a child? You go to shoot. Can you sing? You're in Utopia. Are you remaining? Yes, you are in You Plus Me Equals Love. That's basically what they did with these choices here.
No, it's like the 4 houses of Harry Potter.
No, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. That's not the main thing that happened, though. We had the elimination. So the way they did it was based on country ranks was how they did the elimination. Let's go through each country. The first one,
Top
Korea.
8.
Top 8. So they won 7-1, but we're just going to go 1-8. First place, Yoojin. Second place, Chaehyun. Third place, Dayeon. Fourth place, Yeseo. Fifth place, Younghoon. Sixth place, Gunmaya. Seventh place, Bora. Eighth place, Huning Bahie. Interesting.
Some people really went up.
Most surprising thing is Yeseo in fourth place, I think.
That was very surprising too.
I thought she dropped. I thought the top 3 Koreans was gonna be Yoojin, Yeseo, Chaehyun in that order, but it turned out Yeseo dropped to 4th. Dayeon riding the ice cream hype train rose up to 3rd place. I'm also surprised that like Gunmaya stayed on the show, and also Huning Bahie dropping all the way to 8th was kind of surprising too. I thought. I think we've talked at length about how we feel about Huning Bahie on the show.
Hey, she's popular though. She's still hanging in there.
The problem with K group was that there were so many good trainees.
Yeah, there's not enough spaces.
It was like pick your poison. Some Korean kids that went home: Doa, Yoonjia, Jiyoon, Jiwon, Yeyoung.
The remaining people salute.
Yeah, like literally all the other good kids went home. It's kind of rough.
I do feel like among the 3 countries, Korea's the one where it's split the most.
Yes.
Like for Japan and China, I see a lot of the votes being focused on certain people, while in Korean trainees, I feel like it's pretty evenly divided, and that's pretty clear when you look at the overall votes.
And it's to Korea's detriment right now.
Right.
The way they're doing it.
Right.
All right, next we had Japan for their top 8. It was Yurina, Mashiro, Hikaru. That's the J Trinity, but it kind of switched up a little. Then we have Shana, Manami on the beat, Ririka, Ruan, and Mei. So Ruan from Planet Pass to 7th place.
That's wild.
That was kind of cool. Mei falling from, I thought she was the solid 4th place, but now she's in 8th place. So that happened. And then the other main thing was that Mashiro switched with Hikaru in terms of 2nd and 3rd was the big thing.
And Yurina stayed in number 1.
Okay, yo, why isn't my girl Mashiro number 1? Like, I don't understand what's going on here.
I personally am not sure about Hikaru making the final group anymore.
I don't think she's gonna make it.
Oh.
I don't think so.
I think it's getting more unlikely and more unlikely as the episodes go by.
I agree.
Yeah.
She's just kind of there, right?
There's not a lot of storyline going on, and it's interesting because I feel like it's definitely developing for others. And yeah, I don't know anymore.
Okay, here's a prediction from your boy Doug, right?
Okay.
I think we're gonna end up with 2 Chinese kids, 3 Japanese kids, and 4 Korean kids in this group.
Okay. Is there a reason you chose those numbers?
I chose the Chinese 2 kids based on what the votes keep looking like.
Okay.
I chose Japan because they've had a J Trinity, but I don't think it's going to be Hikaru in the 3rd spot. I think it's going to be Shana's going to make it at the end.
That's true. She's got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, I feel like
and
Shana
Japan is starting to really vote for her too, I've been hearing. And then Korea, I think that the 4 will end up being like Yoojin, Chaehyun, Yeso, and then someone in the fourth spot. And right now, Dayeon's the hot hand, but we'll have to see if she's remaining to be the hot hand. But going back to Japan, there's a clear top 3 here still. I really want to say it's a top 2 now, but 2 to 3 still. And there's a big drop off to Shana. That's just how it is. How do we feel about that?
I mean, I do agree with you. I feel like Yurina and Mashiro have a very solid spot. But the third spot, we're not going to know until the end of the final sprint. You know, it's going to be a full run. No slacking, guys. Ririka, I'm voting for
Empty
Ririka.
the tank.
Ririka, dude, I kind of like Ruan these days. Like,
Wow.
You and people named Ruan.
I like Ruan these days, dude. I don't know. Kind of
Vote for Ririka and over Ruan. No offense to Ruan stands.
All right. Finally, we have the Chinese contestants. So it will turn number 1 without any surprise. Shan Jiaoting, second place,
Yes.
Suruchi. Third place was a surprise, Huang Xinqiao. Fourth place, Chai Bing.
Wow,
Fifth
yeah.
place, Wonja. Sixth place, Chen Xinwei. Seventh place, Fu Yaning. Eighth place, Zhu Jian. But Rhoda, she's going home. If you watched at the end of the show,
Yeah.
there was a subtitle that says she withdrew from the show.
Due to
wow.
health reasons, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm sorry
So
about
she's
that.
off the show. So there's only 8 Chinese contestants because you have to add the one Planet Pass. So there is only 8 of them now.
Wow.
You know,
Interesting.
Shan Jiaoting, number 1. I think she's number 1 overall on the show in terms of how safe you are. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it
safe, yeah.
It would take something ridiculous for her not to end up top 9 at the end. Suruchi, you know the politics are there, but she is still super popular internationally. I think the Chai Bing fall has started with Huang Xinqiao placing above her. I think that Huang Xinqiao has a good voice, and she's sort of like a Minju and Haewon, where she's not the most supremely talented kid on the show, but she's a really good visual, and she could be a really solid filler member in your group. I think that makes sense there. Chai Bing starting to fall down. One just shooting up from Planet Pass to 5th because people think she's funny. And it makes sense. She's super personable. She's pretty good, and she gets good screen time, right?
She's a hard worker. I was impressed.
Yeah. And then we have Chun Shin-wei, who's the girl who can't see. You remember Fu Yaning in 7th. I keep saying it. It is such a shame that this girl came in with so much baggage onto the show because talent-wise, she is top 9, I think. And then Rhoda's going home. It is what it is.
I'm actually very surprised that after the announcement of her withdrawing from the show, that they didn't add somebody
Add someone?
else. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they've done that. I remember when I was watching Produce Japan, that happened where some contestants withdrew after eliminations, and they added people back. So I was kind of expecting that, but I don't think there's going to be that at all.
What might have happened was she said she didn't want to. She had to withdraw from the show after the kids went home, and if they wanted to be on it, they'd have to quarantine again. That might have been it, logistically speaking.
Yeah, that might be also what it is. They didn't have COVID for the other shows, so.
No. Yeah, it
That's
kind of
true.
sucks though. And then we finally had Planet Pass, which for Koreans, Sooyeon got saved. For Chinese, Jo Jin-yu, and then for Japanese, Kotone. Sooyeon, okay, I'm gonna be real here. I would have taken Doa or Ji-won over Sooyeon.
I was
saying.
a little surprised.
I would have taken a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like Yeong,
Yeong was good vocal,
Yeong.
right?
Kwon.
Yeah, even they could have done a Ji-yoon redemption arc because she is good at singing, right? So I think
Right.
she screwed herself after missing the high note. To be fair,
That's true. Yeah.
Jo Jin-yu, I had no clue who that was.
I remember her. Yeah.
I really didn't. And then Kotone, she was the one who rapped in VVS, the one who was actually decent. So
Right.
I think they rewarded her for that. And she also was really good in the 17 Pretty You stage in round 1. She did Vernon's part, I believe. All right, finally we had top 9, right? Overall top 9. Shan Jiaoting number 1, Yurina number 2, Mashiro 3, Hikaru 4, Yujin 5, Suruchi 6, Huang Jinjiao 7, Chai Bing 8th, and Chaehyun 9. Only 2 Korean kids made top 9 this week. And the
Yeah.
Korean internet exploded when that happened. Realistically speaking, Koreans are just there's too many votes to spread out between too many kids. Whereas
yeah.
the
Right.
Chinese kids and the Japanese kids, most of the votes are focused on a couple kids. That being said, J Trinity from 2 to 4, kind of crazy. I think Urena rightfully dropped to 2 after after she didn't have a great stage. And Suruchi's starting to drop too. She's in 6th now. How do we feel about this top 9?
A little surprising. Didn't expect to see. What's her name? Shin Shao. That was interesting. I think she also didn't expect it either.
No.
Yeah, based on her reaction, but I don't know. I feel like the way that things are right now will definitely influence the voting for next elimination. So I really don't think this is by any means.
Oh, that's yeah. Also, like Chai Bing's out of this top 9.
Yeah.
There's no way she's gonna be top 9 next time.
Yeah.
No way.
Honestly, I think besides shouting, I don't know if anybody's safe. Frankly speaking,
Anything could happen.
even with Urena, there's a lot of controversy within Japan about her attitude, right? That's one thing that's brewing up. I don't know if you guys know about this.
Yeah, you were telling me where people are saying she doesn't try hard enough. She's not vocal enough.
Yeah,
she doesn't try to
Japanese-
speak Korean enough, right?
Right. Apparently, 2 Channel really hates her for some reason. I'm not sure. I didn't really dig too much into it. I don't know. I'm not Japanese. Don't ask me. Like Hikaru, we talked about possibly moving down. Mashiro, I think, is okay, but
I think the safest bet of 2. If I had to put a place money, who's gonna make the final lineup? I would say Zhao Ting and Mashiro have the highest chance. Right.
Same. I think besides those 2, I don't know if I can put my money on these people.
The next
honestly.
one, I would probably put Yujin, but she might get Mnet screwed at the end, so we can't really, she's been consistently K1, right? And we know they're gonna have at least one Korean kid, right? So who knows though?
What if we end up with a K-pop group that's only Japanese and Chinese kids?
Good luck promoting. Good luck.
K-pop group, guys.
Okay. Notable kids who were sent home: Doa, Yoonjia, Jiyoon, Jiwon, Yeong, Liang Jiao. She's notable because she's on the show. And the most ridiculous thing was that they gave Kotone the Planet Pass over Kubo Reina. I thought Kotone did well, but how could you not give the Planet Pass to Kubo Reina?
Honestly, the masters kind of did their their reasoning, right, for their choices. And at first I was like, why? Why did you choose these people? You have a lot of very talented vocalists, especially vocalists, right, that are not going to make it. You could choose to save. And I guess what I saw was that they were going for performance, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I understood it, where they weren't really worried about vocals anymore. They saw maybe who had made it and that vocals were okay based on the surviving contestants, and that they were trying to give more chance to people who were performance focused. Because I don't know, I feel like that's where I saw things were a little bit more memorable for the people that were saved. I wouldn't say that they were amazing, but I thought okay, yeah, they were memorable for this performance. I don't know, maybe that was the reasoning.
I mean, if I look at the top 9, I guess they're decently strong with the vocals.
True.
I'm not sure about that. But
okay, if you think about the vocals who are left, the best singer on the show probably is Bora, who's left.
Right.
Right.
And then probably Chaehyun, I would say, is up there too. After that, we're kind of okay.
Hey, K-pop is all about the visuals and performances and nothing else.
True.
Oh boy.
All right, some logistics going forward. Next elimination, only 17 will be saved plus 1 Planet Pass with no country restrictions. So if all 9 Korean kids get saved, or 9, if all 9 get saved, it happens. It could, statistically it won't, because the way they're doing the vote is you get 3 votes this round, only 1 per country, so it is still spread out, which I think is stupid still, to be honest. Because of that, the Koreans are metagaming now, where so what I've read in some places or translations that basically, if you're not doing troll picks, because there are a lot of Koreans who are just screwed with done with the show and are doing troll picks, right? So that's happening. But if you are actually trying to do the show, it seems like what the Koreans are going to do is they will only vote Shun Jiaoting for the Chinese contestants, and they're going to vote for either Yurina or Mashiro for the Japanese contestants. Therefore, they get all the votes for them, the Chinese and Japanese votes, and then therefore the Korean kids have a higher chance to end up top 9 or top 18 as it is now.
Right. So it's essentially what they're doing is, yes, exactly what you said.
Eliminating options, basically. You're cutting down the options.
Yeah,
Right.
they're cutting down the amount of kids from China and Japan who have a lot of votes by voting all of them like 3 kids.
I mean, frankly speaking, that's already been the case for a lot of these votes so far. I don't know where you picked up these translations from, but based on what I've seen in these various communities, it does feel like a lot of the Korean votes are focused on Huang Xingqiao and Shen Xiaoting for the Chinese kids.
Yep.
And then for the Japanese kids, we have Yurina, Mashiro, Hikaru, as well as a couple kids below that with like, you know, I know Ririka is a little popular, as well as a couple other people. But besides that, everything else are Korean people / Korean people that have been voted out. I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into that. Obviously, global politics does play a role in this, in the way they vote for people. But you know, at the end of the day, what they're doing isn't illegal or shady. I don't think, at the very least, they're not actually brigading, if that makes any sense.
No, it's just more like, hey, why don't we try this? Is what it seems like. I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat a little bit. So I did some number crunching, as I do.
Right.
They keep saying on the show that the point system ends up being 50% international, 50% Korean, right? They keep saying that over and over again. It turns out that if you do the math, it means that every international vote is the equivalent. Actually, no, the better way to put it. Every Korean vote is equal to 8 international votes. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
if you were Korean and you vote, right, it counts as 8 votes if you were international.
So we're getting 8 times more votes from the international fandoms than we are from Korean fandoms. Is that
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of significant if you think about it.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
8.
I mean, even given the rest of the world is bigger than Korea, but still.
That means if your kid's in benefit, that could be 16.
Man, wow.
Yeah, and they had it 3 times at one point. That was 24.
Oh my god.
Wow.
These are some crazy multipliers.
Yeah. The weird thing is they do show the vote totals, right? The Korean vote, international vote. I have a picture on our script here, but they never show you how you end up with the points total. I think that's a little sus. You know,
It will always be sus.
Didn't you calculate and number crunch some stuff and tell me that the numbers don't add up?
It doesn't add up perfectly. There's a discrepancy. You end up somewhere between like 7.9 and 8.1, depending on what you're doing. But who knows if they're even doing that? That's if like that. The way I did it was based on the assumption that they are doing 50%, 50%, right? Where I just scaled up the votes, so it's equal. But who knows what they're really doing? That being said, if you look at the vote totals they showed on the screen, some notable things. Suruchi has about half the amount of votes of people near her, so she's in 6th place. For instance, in 5th place is Yujin. She has 172,000. Suruchi has 90, and then Huang Xinqiao has about 180,000.
In terms of Korean votes, right?
In terms of just Korean votes. So Suruchi is, as we've expected, not popular in Korea as a vote.
I'm surprised she got that many votes in Korea to begin with, given the negative consent talk around her.
But if you look at international votes, Suruchi has 1.8 million, while Huang Xinqiao has only about 1.1 million. So that's where she's making it up.
Well, yeah.
Other things, you know, the most popular international kid is Mashiro. Internationally, she has 2.28 million votes. And the most popular vote in Korea is Shen Xiaoting by a big margin. She has 327,000 in Korea. The next person is Yurina with only 270. So Shen Xiaoting is extremely popular right now. She's 2nd place international vote, 1st place in Korean vote. I wonder what the ratio will be at the end. I think there's
That's
gotta
what
be
everybody wants to know.
There's gonna be 4 to 5 Korean kids. I'm telling you right now. They're gonna be majority Korean kids.
Nah, I think it'd be funny if it's all Japanese and Chinese.
What if there's like 2 Korean kids, right, at the end?
No, just kick all the Koreans out.
Just
I
no
think that'd be
Koreans?
funny.
Oh my god. Do you think they would even promote that group if it happened?
It's a group. What do you mean? What do you mean?
They're forced to, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta do
The point
it.
of a group is to promote and make money. What do you mean?
Hey man, they could have promoted X1 and they decided not to.
Oh.
Talking about that. So if this group, when they debut, they're not all in. How should I say it? Like they're not free agents, right? So they're still signed. So how long will this go?
2 years? I don't know.
Tops, right? I don't think it would go.
2 weeks.
Yeah, people. I keep seeing posts about how logistically, like how this is going to be such a logistical nightmare in terms of politics, in terms of where to promote, in terms of different countries. Like,
There's like
It
so
will
much
be
going
hard.
on in the real world that we haven't discussed. Like
Yeah.
the stuff people have the stuff that trainees have said on social media, and then like Chinese regulations on foreigners on TV, and like and there's the whole thing about there's the whole thing about these people in 3 different countries having feelings about each other.
History. Yeah.
There's so much going on where
yeah.
I'm like, they barely pulled off Produced 48.
and people are saying
Why?
they did 48. They only did 48 because it was all the Japanese kids were in the same agency because they were all in the AKB bubble.
Right.
So that's why it worked.
And even when they were doing Produce 48, so many people, my mom was like, why are you watching something where people speak Japanese on Korean television? I was like, whoa, mother. Like, I might have cut that part out. She might not like that. But still, like, it's crazy.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's a little tricky.
It's a very tricky situation.
Yeah, this is gonna be a dumpster fire down the road. I'm like, it's gonna happen, right? Like it has to.
You know what? We'll see what happens. 9
that
people.
being said,
Yeah.
on the show, as they say, protect. Like, whose dream are you gonna protect? You know,
Guardians.
I guess. Hey, Guardians. She's off the show. It's so sad that Jiwon's off of the show because they voted. Like, it's like the first time ever the kid who's voted most pretty doesn't make the final group.
Dang.
Big oof.
Yeah. It is what it is, though.
You know the Pokemon Gardevoir?
Yes.
Yes.
The Korean name for Gardevoir is Guardian.
Oh.
Oh.
I didn't know why I wanted to mention that, but now you know.
All right. Next week, Tuesday. Well, it already happened. We have Cypher, which is Rain's group.
Yes.
Wednesday, we have Hot Issue and CL. Friday, we have Twice the Feels, that English song. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. And we also have We I via Universe. But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me this week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based Mina, Shadow, Delmonic, Ellie, Jedi, Goku Mama, Jacob, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, and J Parks. Tier, thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erde, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.